Hey everybody, it's David Pingree with Troy Lee Designs, and we're here today to introduce you to the new TLD SE5 helmet. This has been a much anticipated project here at Troy Lee Designs. A lot of research on this thing, a lot of time testing and developing it with the race team and other key members of the staff here. So let's start with what's in the box when you get one of these things. We're going to walk you guys through all of the technical aspects and everything of it, but let's start with what you're going to get. So first things first, if you buy one of the carbon models, you're going to get this custom helmet bag. If you buy a composite, it's going to come in a helmet sock. Those are the only two differences. Other than that, everything that's inside is going to be the same. So we'll start with your brand new SE5 helmet. Bit of a work of art there. You're also going to get with that a spare visor. A lot of times just a tip over in a turn or getting hit with roost, you'll chip these things up, scratch them. It's nice to have a new visor, kind of freshens everything up. It's going to come with a set of emergency stickers that go underneath your visor. This info is vital for first responders, medics that get on scene. If you do have an accident, just gets them a head start on giving you proper treatment and care moving forward. It comes with a spare set of screws for that visor. Now, these things are designed to break off in a crash. That's a safety feature. We'll discuss that a little more down the road, but this is going to be for your new visor or if you do happen to break one. And then obviously comes with a manual. It just talks about care and cleaning and things like that to keep your SE5 in good working order. All right, let's jump into some of the specifications on the SE5. Let's start with weight, because that's a big deal when you're riding, especially for long periods of time. Even a small amount of weight can make a difference at the end of a long ride. With the carbon model, weight is 1,350 grams. Very, very light. You'll pick this thing up or put it on, you're gonna be blown away. The composite model, slightly heavier at 1,470 grams. And you might say, that's hardly any difference. They're still very, very light, both of them. And like I said, at the end of a long day of riding, it's cumulative and you will notice it. We start talking about shell materials. There is a carbon fiber model and also a composite. You'll notice the difference in price between the two. Obviously, carbon fiber is a little more expensive. And most importantly there is that we have three different sizes of shells. And that's important. That fitment really plays a part of the safety. We have all the way from extra small to double XL. And so it really allows to fit a lot of different head sizes, which again plays into the safety factor. The next thing I want to talk about is the rotational device. So we are first to the moto space with MIPS' new Integra rotational device system. We're going to go into more detail on how this works here in a little bit, but I just wanted to point that out that this is an awesome new design, super comfortable, and we're excited to show you guys. The impact liners. So this is what really creates the safety of the helmet. It's the EPS foam that's inside the helmet. It is still the single best impact absorbing material for one big crash. And the TLD SE5 comes with, like I said, dual density, and it's increased here in the front part and the rear part of the helmet. These are the two main areas in a big crash where folks are hitting their heads. So by increasing that EPS, we obviously increase the safety of the helmet. I want to talk about the comfort liners now. So inside here, you notice these cheek pads, and we'll talk more about this in a little bit, but moisture wicking, antibacterial, removable, washable, very cool, very comfortable. I want to talk about the chin bar as well. Where do you hang your helmet when you're not riding? For most of us, it sits on the handlebar just like this, right? Well, if you have EPS foam underneath this chin bar and you indent it, you're decreasing the safety of it because it can't return. Although it's the best material for single impact absorption of energy, it doesn't return to its original shape. So the EPP does, and that's what this chin bar has. So it's still providing some energy impact absorption while also being able to return to its original shape if you set it on your handlebar and push in on a little bit. So that's a big feature. I want to talk about the D-rings on this thing as well. So when you're strapping this helmet, the D-rings that come on it on the carbon model are titanium. Very, very cool, obviously very light. If you do get the composite model, it's going to be stainless steel. It's another slight difference between the two helmets. The visor screws, we mentioned these earlier. These are actually a safety feature. I know it sounds crazy, but they're designed to break away in an impact. If you land and hit this visor, you don't want the visor forcing the helmet to rotate, which could cause some type of injury. These screws are designed to shear off, the visor breaks away. That's why we give you an extra set of screws that come with it and an extra visor as well. In terms of storage, like I said, the carbon model is going to come with the custom TLD bag. If you get the composite model, it's just coming with a Troy Lee Designs helmet sock. Both do a good job of protecting the helmet. This one's just a little more swaggy. As far as certifications go, this is obviously very important for folks. We have two different verifications, DOT and also the ECE verification. And there's some other features as well I just want to touch on. This is new for the SE5, the EPP collarbone relief. So if you can see here, as we push on this, this is all the same EPP that's in the chin bar, similar material, and it gives, so that if you fall and your helmet digs into your collarbone, it's going to give a little bit rather than putting a bunch of pressure on that collarbone and potentially breaking it. So just trying to think ahead and make changes and improvements as we can. And then lastly, I want to talk about the ventilation gills. This is a huge part of this helmet. It breathes like crazy. And some of that is due to these directional gills in the front here. They're increased in size, there's more of them, and they force the air right in where you need it. And the ventilation ports on the back, which have been increased significantly, pull that air out the back. And it's just like a good mullet. You can have all the business up front you want, but if you don't have the party in the back, it's not working, right? Same way with the ventilation on a helmet. You can have all the entry points in the front you want. If it doesn't ventilate out the back, it's not working. So the SE5 has all that in spades. All right, let me show you the liners on this thing. So these comfort liners, super soft and comfortable, obviously, but they're also moisture wicking, they're antibacterial, they're all removable and washable. And there's a built-in safety feature here that I really want to emphasize, and that's the quick release cheek pads. You pull on that little tab, they both pop right out very easily. And this is super critical in any type of severe crash situation where you may have potentially a spinal cord injury. If they've got to pull that helmet off, first responders and medics, and pull traction on your spine, you're going to worsen the injury potentially. So by popping these things out, now there's really nothing holding it on. They can very easily slide it out from under you. I've used this on calls as a medic. Myself personally, it's a very, very crucial component to getting a helmet off. So I really wanted to draw attention to that. I think it's super important. And we also make these in multiple sizes. So if you've got, whether you've got a round face like I do or a skinny face, you can customize this helmet and make it fit your face perfectly. I want to dive in a little bit further into the MIPS systems on the SE4 and SE5 helmets. So let me show you each of these. Picking up an SE4 here. So this helmet has the MIPS C system, and it's basically designed with a couple of elastomers in there to slide on top of the EPS. That's how this system works to reduce rotational forces and impact in a crash. So what we've done on the SE5, as you can see the difference here looking at the two of them, is that this Integra system is actually built into the EPS. It's molded right into it, which allows for a little bit more comfort and a little bit better ventilation. So you can see just by looking at the two, quite a bit different, both trying to accomplish that same thing of reducing rotational forces in a crash. Let's talk about comfort and fit. This is a big part of making your helmet work the way it's supposed to and helping you to enjoy your new SE5 helmet. Like we mentioned earlier, there are 3 different shell sizes, so we're covering all kinds of different sizes of heads, but we also have 3 different sizes of cheek pads and helmet liners, comfort liners, to really customize that for you and help it to just fit perfectly. So we've got all the way from 25 mil, 35 mil, and 40 mil cheek pads, and those are interchangeable within all 3 shell sizes. And also 3 different comfort liners as well. And like I said, you can take and mix and match any one of them. And this is super important because if your helmet is a little too loose or too tight, it isn't going to perform the way it's supposed to. So I can't emphasize this enough. When you get your helmet, if you feel like there's anything you want to adjust, you can go through your local Troy Designs dealer or go to troydesigns.com, find all of these products on there to really customize that fit and make sure that it's just a perfect fit for you. All right, thank you guys for walking through all of the features of the SE5 with me. I hope you guys have a better understanding of all the things that are involved with this. And I just wanted to touch lastly again on a couple of things here. One, I've been wearing Troy's gear since 2003. I've been wearing his helmets ever since he came out with them. And I'm always impressed by his eye for style and design and also his passion for safety, which really is rooted in his son Max starting to race and getting faster and faster, and Troy really wanting to keep him into a safe helmet. The safest helmet he could possibly make, obviously. Any dads know how that would feel. And so I just have to say too, look at the design on this thing, man. I mean, you don't find helmets like this from any other brand. This is a TLD trademark. These things look like they're custom painted just for you. You can have the paint shop throw your name and number on there, and it's ready to go. It's a full custom helmet. And just because you're slow doesn't mean you can't look pro. So get over to your local Troy Designs dealer or over to troydesigns.com. Look at all the styles and colorways they've got available and get yourself into a lid that's worthy of, being a pro. Thanks for watching, guys.